Hello, welcome back to DIY Lawn Care. Patrick here. Wanted to talk to you today about scalping your yard. In Arizona, we're getting close to the 100 temperatures. We've already hit it, but it's really been a strange pattern. It's gone back and forth. At this time, if you put down, especially if you put down your winter lawn and you haven't already scalped it, you're going to get to the point where your winter lawn is dying off, and you've probably already seen this, stripes of it, if not the whole thing, and then Bermuda starting to compete with it, and then you just have spot. It just doesn't look great. It's, you know, you got Bermuda trying to grow over it, rye dying off. It looks like, you know, my hair not perfectly, not going exactly the way I'd like it to go, and more downhill than not. But this is what I do. Is first I turn off the irrigation. Turn off your sprinklers for about a week, and you want it to dry off, so because you're going to be digging in the soil. The next thing you want to do is you want to I take my reel mower, which is not electric. It's all about cardio and exercise, and it's called Great States. I think this is the best one I've seen. I mean, it's also gray and black, which I like those colors, but this one works really. It goes down to 0.5 inch, which is pretty low, especially for using a reel mower, and it gets it really down. So next thing you need, because it doesn't have a bag, you need to collect the debris, which does an okay job. Is I have the Ego lawnmower. I've been using this for a very long time. I mean, it does an okay job. You know, the vacuum just does it. It's not the same as a gas, I'll admit that, but it cleans up a lot of it. Once you get that and get most of the debris, then what you want to do is you want to take the Scarifying, which I have as the Greenworks, and this is the battery operated one. There's no cord. I can't stand cords. I think it ends up being just a pain. I take that and go in both directions, so you're going to basically do a T. You're going to go back and forth, back and forth, back and forth, and then you're going to go in the opposite direction too. That way you really turn up the soil, and that's what you want to do. You want to rip that rye dead grass out and give a chance for the new Bermuda to come in and has nothing to compete with. There are spots that you might want to get even closer down, and you have the option, if you really want to get it down, depending on how thick your ryegrass is, if it's not tearing up as much as you want, just take the weed whacker. Just weed whack, you know, the areas that are really thick that you're having issues tearing it up. After that, I would take my blower, which I have the Ego, if you can't see, I have the Ego mower blower right here. Can you tell I like a certain brand? They all work great, but take the blower and then blow it. I blow the debris. I blow it all the way to the end of the street, and I actually blow it to the end of the curb, because that way I can take a dustpan and just sweep it all up. So much easier. And that way you really got the debris out of there. Because once you use the Scarifying, it digs up so much. The Ego just can't handle that side. I think the Ego is great for certain purposes, but not for taking up a bunch of heavy aggressive debris. You're going to really need a gas mower. But to me, I'd rather, hey, like I said, it's all about the cardio. So get more exercise if you go and blow it out and throw it out there. But then your neighbors can watch you and wonder if you've lost your mind. But but you have it. And then, okay, now you got all the debris up. So what you want to do is you want to take you want to put fertilizer down. I put down this fertilizer that is called Green Shocker by the Andersons. Let me show it to you. And this stuff works great. You put your spreader, the Scott spreader, the one that tosses out, not drops. You'll see it at like places like Home Depot. Put it at the second to lowest setting, and just slowly releases it. And this stuff, I'll tell you, it is like it's like a chichilla pet. It's crazy how quickly this stuff helps promote growth. I use it when I put the rye seed as well during the winter lawn. All right, so you put that down, and now the next and the biggest and most important part is your irrigation. Now, usually you can get away with irrigating your yard, at least I do, 5-minute cycles twice a week. Now, I do it twice a week because Bermuda or other grasses usually want a deep soak. They don't need to be You don't need a lot of people put their irrigation on every single day, and I used to too. But if you read just some articles on it, the professionals tell you that doing more time, less days will bring on stronger root systems, because it really wants a deep soak so the roots can really get in there and thrive. So what I do is I do Monday at 4 a.m., 5:30, and 7 a.m. for 5 minutes. Okay, now depending on your yard, you might need to, there might be areas that don't get as much water, either because your yard is slanted and some areas aren't flat. For that, just, I would start with the 5 minutes on each cycle and see what it does. And the reason why I stagger it about an hour and a half is, even though I have 6 station, which is 5 minutes, was 30 minutes. So it gives an hour. And the reason why I give the hour is I want to give time for that water to really soak in there. Because if you don't do that, and I've done this, I'm saying this because trial and error of doing it with myself, if you do it where it goes and finishes and then you do it again, the water will build up because it hasn't had enough time to go deep into the soil. It will run off into your driveway, and then you're just wasting water. And why would you do that? I mean, it just costs you more money, and it's a waste of water. We should, especially living in the desert, probably shouldn't be doing that. If I notice with the hour and a half, I don't have that issue, and it gives it a chance to really soak in there. So what I'm saying with that is, so once you put the irrigation after the fertilizer, actually, and I said the Monday and Thursday, the last part is you just want to monitor it and see how it goes. I would suggest with the green shocker, you could fertilize it every week, because it's okay, because you're only laying, it's very small, it's very fine, the fertilizer itself, and it won't hurt it. But if you don't want to do that and spend as much money, I mean, like, I don't like to do it every week. If you want to wait every 3 weeks, that's fine too. It's probably going to take a little bit longer. But at least you'll get time to see what it does and, see how much you need to put down. But if you see areas that are not thriving as much, and I have this going on right now myself, what you want to do is then maybe there's certain cycles, certain stations on your sprinklers that you want to add a little bit more time. Instead of 5, maybe go to 7 and see if that makes any change. Before you go and do something, and maybe there's something that's wrong, but I would start there and see if it's just lack of water and it's just not getting enough and draining off of it. Yeah, I hope you like this information. If you do, please subscribe, and have a great weekend, and happy scalping.